Yo, what's going on, everybody? It's Danny here from Dynamite Darts, and welcome back to today's episode of Dynamite Darts School. This is the series where we'll be teaching you everything there is to know about darts, from fundamentals, which I'll cover in this video, as well as trivia and fun facts you may not have known along the way. So whether you're brand new to darts or even playing it a long time, this series is going to be enjoyable for you either way. If you're new here, welcome to the channel, and be sure to hit that subscribe button to stay up to date with all things darts. So in today's episode of Dynamite Darts School, we're going over some fundamentals, and what better place to start than something that's so simple it's often overlooked, but that's perfecting your stance. Ultimately in darts, the ability to be able to perform consistently comes down to the stability of your setup. So although it may be the simplest thing in the world, you just step up to the hockey and go from there, we're going to go over some things in this video. If you've already done them, fantastic, but maybe something to think about when going up to the hockey next time you play. And again, disclaimer on this, I'm the first one to suggest that simpler is better with a lot of this stuff when it comes to darts, to not overthink things. But if you're at the stage where you do want to tweak something, I think it's best to start from the foundations up. Less focus on fancy new equipment or weird ways to grip the dart. Start simple and start with the fundamentals. Let's get into it. So first things first, we're going to go with foot placement. How you place your foot on the hockey is completely personal to you. There is no right or wrong way to place your foot on the hockey. You can be side on, straight on towards the boards. It doesn't matter. Up until a few years ago, what was really popular and the most popular was just staying side on, made famous by the likes of Phil Taylor, Barney, and all of the greats. But in recent years, people have adapted that stance to move different places across the hockey. And then take someone like Luke Humphries, the reigning world champion. He stands very square on, straight on, facing the board. So the biggest thing with this is you just need to be comfortable and be stable. So find a stance for you that you can feel you're most stable when your upper body, or more so your arm, is moving and propelling a dart forward. What you want then, once you've found that position for your foot, is a slight lean from your back leg. Lean up on that foot, which should raise the heel of your back leg slightly. You want to feel a point of equilibrium where you are stable in your lower body and upper body while allowing your arm to propel the dart towards the board. A simple thing to do for this is just set up a camera side on the hockey. I'll have a clip here showing you where different stances don't work for me. And again, it's all individual. But what you do want to find is something that keeps you stable, because that's the best foundation you can have for darts. Here are a few clips of some of the best professional players in the world. Although all of their throws are completely different, look at the things they do the same. There's very little movement in most of them. Yes, there are some outliers like Menser Suljovic, Richie Burnett. But what you find is, over time, the more you look at these top players, they do so many things similar. So then moving on from stance, which kind of touches on alignment, is where along the hockey you should stand. The simplest thing to kind of figure this out for yourself is get up into your position. Put your foot whichever way it is and do your lean to whatever degree you do your lean. And then simply lift your arm up to shoulder height. From there, turn your head as if you're looking over your shoulder, and see then, once you've gotten lined up, if you look down the sight of your eye all the way down to your fingertips, which one is roughly pointing towards the 20 target. And again, without too much strain on the shoulder. You don't want the shoulder to be too closed up, kind of closing in the pec muscle, because that can lead to you pulling a lot of darts across your body. So if you're right-handed, moving a lot into the 5, or if you're left-handed, moving across into the 1 a lot. Or you don't want to open up your chest too much as well, as this can be uncomfortable. So find a nice safe spot for your arm where it's kind of halfway in between the two. This is very closed, this is very open. You'll feel that stretch in your pec there, that's way too open. But then you'll also feel that your chest tightens up too much when you're too much across your body. So somewhere in between should be perfect. And then once you're in that position, move along the hockey. Start far left, middle, and far right, and take 30 darts with each of them, just aiming for big 20s. No trebles, no nothing. If you hit trebles, that's completely fine. But see which one felt most comfortable, and B, on top of that, which one led to the least amount of body movement during the throw. Even if it doesn't feel perfect, what you're looking for is a very stable base. And if you have that and you can build on that, that's where consistent high scoring and consistent darts will come from. Now, getting into your stance, before you've even approached the hockey, let's talk a little bit about setup. This is really important too. As I've mentioned a lot on this channel, I worked directly with Daniel Poole from Straight to the Point Darts. And he has this simple cue that I put in my head all the time when it comes to approaching the hockey. So this is his simple mantra to follow. It's feet, then head, then pick up the dart. So get your feet right, get your stable base, then look over towards your target, and only then do you pick up the dart. This will ensure the most amount of consistency between every single time you visit the board. And again, Play around with all of these variables. There are some pros that can manage to do it in different ways. But as a general rule, if you find yourself not scoring like a pro and you're moving a lot, try to move less. And then, even if your scoring decreases for a while, you will find that over time, it increases back to where it was and hopefully better. Here's an example of when I first started playing darts to now. Notice the difference in movement. Yes, there are still times, particularly when I'm playing under pressure, where I'll jerk or snatch a bit, but the difference and what we're looking for again is improvement is what we're after here. Again, just compare yourself to yourself. Big thing I notice now is I play a lot better now. Is that boiled down to just consistency and my stability? No, there are other factors, but this is again the foundation. Think of the dart skills you can acquire like a pyramid, and you want that pyramid to be as big as possible. Well, the simplest way to build the biggest pyramid is to have the widest foundation, because the pyramid is limited by the width of that foundation. So we want to make that foundation as big as possible, and that's what we're doing, and this is why we have this fundamental series. So there you have it. That's just a quick video going over another fundamental that I think is often overlooked and often complicated. The advice I don't agree with is just stand whatever way is comfortable and throw. You should be comfortable, but you should also aim for a point between comfort and stability. If you are comfortable but not stable, it's hard to say you're really comfortable. You might be comfortable standing there, but as you go to throw, and between you throwing one dart and picking up the next, you mightn't feel too comfortable. So a position where you're comfortable and stable. And to be honest, stability is comfort. So think of you building stability as you building comfort when it comes to this. And again, from there, once we have that stable base, find a lean that works for you. Some people lean over a lot. Take Michael Van Gerwen, for instance. He almost bends over or bows going up to the oche. And then someone like Luke Humphries, who is so upright and so straight when he throws. That, again, is a matter of personal preference, but the one thing they both have in common is the stability in both of their setups. And then, when it comes to your alignment along the oche, pick a spot along the oche that allows you to throw the most consistent darts while staying stable. For the longest time, I threw directly from the center of the oche or off to the right. Now I throw from the far left of the oche. Was it completely comfortable for me in the beginning? No, but it was always the most stable. And I always found the scores were the most consistent. And now over the past 3 months, I've only thrown from that side of the oche. And what's happened? I've gotten more stable, more comfortable there. And now if you were to ask me where I am most comfortable, it is on that side of the oche. Not only because my scores are better, but because my body has gotten used to that, and that's the way I feel and play the best darts. And I always like to tell myself these things. Is my current program or my current output getting me the results I want? No. So does that mean I should try to fix it? In some ways, yes. If it ain't broke, don't fix it. But if it is broke, maybe you should look at fixing it. And I wish I could just say, just stand up there, don't worry about these things. But there are some common similarities that we can see all these professionals do, that if we're not doing them, without reinventing the wheel, there's no reason why we shouldn't do them. So for stability, I don't think it's one people can disagree with too much, but it makes a massive difference. So I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know if you learned something, or if it's something that you already know, but you said, you know what, I've been given a different viewpoint on things today. This is just giving you the best opportunity for success. So remember, video yourself. Are you moving less? Good. Are you now feeling more stable and consistent in your throws? Fantastic. These are all building blocks that will lead on to the next episode of Dynamite Dart School. So I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did and you enjoyed this new series of Dynamite Dart School, be sure to leave a like. And if you're not subscribed already, be sure to hit that subscribe button. And as always, until next time. Stability while allowing your arm to and be on top of